That's right, Frank Skinner. Would you like me to phone my mother?
But it can't be Frank Skinner.
Why can't it be?
We just can't.
Girlie, what's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't know. It's weird. But if you're Frank Skinner, this is the old naval station.
Old? Why do you call it old? It's only been up a couple of years.
But it is the naval station.
Hmm?
The naval station on the hill above St Oswald.
Honest, you kids take the biscuit. Got let through the fence by a crowd of obliging Germans or whatever the tale was. Look, why don't you just relax and tell the truth? Come on, this cocoa's getting cold.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got to try and explain. We've come from...
Look, you've barged into what's called a classified establishment. What did you say your first name was again?
Liz.
Liz. It's a nice name. Anyway, Liz, whether you like it or not, I have to put you in the recreation room until we can contact your parents and clear things up.
You won't find our parents.
You're not like the other kid, are you?
What other kid?
Well, I reckon the commander's got a right to be a bit annoyed with you village people. No sense of responsibility. In case you miss the 6 o'clock news, there's a war on.
Mr. Skinner.
Now what?
Where were you born?
Oh, stone me, girl. You've got a thirst for knowledge. Would you like my card from the Admiralty Files, the story of my life?
I just wondered, was it in Rugby?
Matter of fact, it was.
And round about 1924?
23.
Yes. Yes, that's right, Mr. Skinner.
Mrs. Skinner feeling better now, I trust?
Huh? What?
Well, I saw you taking her upstairs earlier on. She didn't look too well.
Oh, she's just worried about Liz and Simon. They haven't come back yet.
Ah.
I'm going for the police.
Oh, not just yet, I wouldn't have thought.
What?
Time enough for the police when we know what the trouble is, perhaps.
Well, this is young Simon's book.
Yes, I thought it must be. It was found by a farm labourer over by the old naval station, just where that other girl, Sarah, disappeared. It seems to be open season on children, doesn't it?
What?
Skinner, can't you remember anything of your time at St Oswald during the war?
Oh, now, look. 2 children are missing. One's my daughter and one I'm responsible for. My wife's worried sick and I've got to do something.
Can't you remember, for example, that while you were at the station in 1940, I was your commanding officer?
Alice, give me maximum range now. It's reception again. Now, why?
Well, we'll have to leave it now, Dr. Fordyce. We've work to do on the other equipment.
All right, I'll be right with you. Look, check all the other links thoroughly.
Yes, of course.
It's the memory units, I'm afraid. We've not really perfected them yet.
Well, just so long as you can have a mock-up ready by the end of the month.
End of the month? Yeah, I'll do my best. You see, we can bounce the beams off the objects well enough and pick up the echo.
Yes?
But when it comes to retaining the image...
village.
Well, what's she doing here?
What are we doing here?
Why are you keeping this girl prisoner? She's done nothing wrong.
Except trespass into a classified establishment. I've told you there's a war on.
She's miserable, crying her eyes out. It's not like you.
Not like me.
I mean,
Look, I joined the Navy to see the world, not to run a blessed kindergarten. And that's the other kid I told you about, who also fell through the fence, and she won't tell us a thing about herself either.
well, she can't, can she?
What do you mean?
She's not like other girls.
Oh, you mean you know her?
Sort of.
Well, thank the Lord for that. I can tell the commander we've received a signal from the mainland and can proceed to put all boarders ashore.
But Mr. Skinner.
Call me Frank.
Frank.
Well, that's my name, unless you're going to tell me there's some weird reason why it shouldn't be. Hey, Liz. Come on, not you too. One female with the weeps is all I can cope with. I don't know, you're a funny kid. I don't seem to get you. Sometimes it's almost like I...
Yes.
I don't know. Well, don't let it get you down. Worst things happen at sea.
That man must be my father, Simon, when he was young.
Yes. Somehow or other, we've gone back in time. The other side of the fence, it's our own time. But here,
It's 1940. That's when my father was at the station.
they were working on radar. Yeah.
But how's that possible? People can't go back in time. 1940 was before I was born. So if that man is my father, then I'm not his daughter. Yet. What's the matter? What are you looking at?
Machen Sie schnell. Kümmern Sie sich nicht um das. Was Sie nicht
Angeht.
angeht. Jawohl.
Geben Sie Acht. Eine Meldung von Berlin kommt durch.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you know, I've lost my memory about 1940 in the station. I don't know what the blazes happened.
I'm aware of that, old man. If it's any consolation to you, I've often wondered how you got on after you were taken to hospital.
Now, listen.
Look, I'm a physicist by trade. In those days, I was in command of a radar experimentation unit.
Why have you come back?
Oh, I put in an appearance here as soon as I heard that girl Sarah had vanished.
Mr. Traynor, Commander, tell me what happened, please. It's not funny going through your life with a blank spot in your head. I'm just in the dark about the whole war. It was only when I got back to civil life that my memory started working again.
Reliably?
No, by degrees. My childhood came back to me quite quickly, but nothing at all about St. Oswald. And that loss of memory has worried me ever since.
Yes, well, I suppose you're entitled to know the basic facts. But I must warn you, this is still restricted information.
Yes.
Well, believe it or not, for several hours in 1940, the St. Oswald station was taken over by a party of Germans.
Don't move, please. Absolutely still. Warum? Das ist nicht recht.
Skinner, in here, quick.
What is it, sir? I thought I heard
A shot! Yes, that was a shot.
Who'd be shooting?
We saw Germans outside, didn't we? Mr. Traynor laughed at us, but we did. Germans.
Important documents, they mustn't be found.
What is it, sir? What's going
Germans, party of raiders.
Germans?
Yes, God knows how. That's something you must do, Skinner.
Well, those kids
the back
were right.
room, the back room off the operations room. You got it?
Sir?
Secret panel in the rear wall, switch behind the notice board. Some equipment that must be dismantled.
Yes, sir, but you've
At
got
all
to-
costs. You'll have a better chance than I will. I shall hardly... Halt!
Jean.
Machen Sie schnell. Geben Sie Acht.
That'll be all, Bradley. We can manage now.
Oh, the lady's ill, sir. Perhaps a doctor would be.
The lady's not ill. She's sleeping peacefully. No doctors.
There's one just down the road.
No doctors, Bradley. I will handle this.
Just as you wish, sir.
This ever happened to your wife before?
No. No, never.
Only since you came to St. Oswald?
Yes.
I don't think you need worry about the children, you know. Not seriously, anyway.
What does that mean?
Well, as I said before, I am a physicist, but there are certain events which escape all the theories, all the calculations. Some of us here and in other countries are pursuing them, and one day we hope we shall trap the mysteries.
It's all Greek to me.
Yes, well, we're dealing in unknown quantities, aren't we? Like a village girl wandering into an apparently deserted field and disappearing. And two other children failing to return from a walk over the hills. Skinner, do you believe, as most people do, that time simply passes away?
Passes away?
Yes, that the past is the past, the future, and all we can ever experience is the present.
What else am I supposed to believe?
People who lived before us released energy, just as we're doing now, by walking and speaking. And energy does not pass away. Some of us are beginning to wonder whether in areas where there has been an enormous release of energy, great events happening, shall we say, whether the past doesn't in some way or other persist.
Persist?
Yes.
Well, how can it? This is the maddest thing I've ever heard. Anyhow, what's this crazy theory of yours got to do with Liz and Simon?
You have a very close relationship with Liz, don't you? Closer than is usual between father and daughter, perhaps because of your lost memories. This is so, isn't it?
Well, yes, I suppose it is.
Has it ever occurred to you that by bringing her here, in close contact with events in which you were deeply involved, you may have enabled her to relive them? 1940, at the station, was a period of great human conflict, you know. We were overrun by the Germans. And then there's your wife's experience.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
She's in touch with something. Doesn't know German, does she? She's just been speaking it.
No, you're making too much of it. There's no mystery about Jean's condition. Mainly, I suppose it's my fault.
Your fault.
Well, I haven't been much of a success down the years. This memory business. I started up a little light engineering concern shortly after we were married, but I never really made a go of it. Life's been hand to mouth often enough. Probably worried Jean more than she admits.
I see.
And those children may be in trouble. I must call the police.
No, wait. I think we should make our own search of the station first. Believe me, Skinner, we must act delicately. What's happening here is too important for policemen.
Kinder.
So, it is more comfortable for you?
It was hardly necessary. Just a couple of glass splinters a man wouldn't pay any attention to under battle conditions.
Fortunately, we are not under battle conditions. Now, please, you are Commander Charles Traynor of the Royal Navy.
I am.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Helmut Gottfried of the German Navy. I deeply regret the death of a member of your staff.
Deeply regret.
I have not come here to kill, Commander, merely to carry out a duty assigned to me. If you will give me your promise to cooperate, there will be no more incidents. We shall only be staying a few hours.
Well, you're a cool one, I'll say that for you. You're very good with the English, too.
Before the war, I spent some time in England. I was at Cambridge.
Cambridge?
I have your promise that you will cooperate?
Well, I'm not quite sure about that, Gottfried. For reasons of your own, you've taken over an establishment which is under my command. I may find myself obliged to resent that.
As you wish. Then I must inform you that your staff will be placed under close arrest.
Now, look, let's stop all this officers and gentlemen stuff for a bit, shall we? All this rigid formality. What's all this about?
I'm sorry? You sure you haven't got the wrong address, Gottfried? I mean, we're a very small beer in the grand scheme of things here. Just a naval records office. No. A research center. Well, we have information. And it is the research I'm interested in. Information? I'd like to know how you got that. If you please, Commander. I'd also like to know how you penetrated into wartime England, 20 miles past the coastal defenses. If you please, no more talk just now. I think it will be better, Commander, if we preserve the formality.
Village? Village? Was heißt das?
We come from the village. Stadt. Dorf. Nothing to do with the naval station.
Ich erlaube den Kindern nicht, faule Witze zu machen.
Look, we're here by mistake. Can't you understand?
Who are these young people? To be perfectly frank, Gottfried, I don't know. They seem to have got in here just as mysteriously as you did. It is so? We haven't taken to conscripting children yet. What are your names, please?
Simon, sir. Simon Randall.
Liz Skinner.
And this one?
Sarah. Please, she's very frightened. Don't be hard on her.
Who said anything about being hard on you? It's just puzzling. Very well, they can stay in this part of the building with you, Commander.
Very good.
As for the rest, they will be bound and gagged and taken to their sheds outside. They'll suffer no ill effects. Ich werde mit essen.
Don't you dare touch me. I will
I
not.
think you better do as they say, Dr. Fortune. They seem to have the upper hand. For the moment.
Very well, Commander.
You, what's your name?
Skinner, sir.
Skinner. Same name as the little girl?
Yes. A coincidence.
It is so?
That's right. He's never seen me before in his life.
All right, Skinner. My men and I are hungry. You will get us some food.
I don't think we've got
But don't try anything, because my men have arms, and as you've seen, I cannot prevent them from using their arms if they are forced to do so. You understand?
Yes, of course he understands. Get our guests some food by all means, Skinner. You hold the key to the supply cupboard.
And are you others inside? Nehmen Sie die Kinder. Care for a game?
Beg your pardon?
This one doesn't speak any English, does he?
Hmm.
Set the reds up for me, would you? Game. Spiel. How did you kids get in here, eh? The truth.
Well, there was this hole in the fence.
The
and we
truth. The Germans paid you to force an entry for them, didn't they?
No.
No? How did they get in here without being observed, then, eh?
I don't know. We saw them just after after we came through. Tried to tell you we saw Germans. Honestly, Mr. Traynor, listen, I had nothing to do with the Germans coming. Honestly.
Play. And how'd you know my name, eh? That's another little mystery we haven't cleared up yet, isn't it?
Well, it was back at the hotel. You see, you... Oh, it's so difficult to explain.
Yes, you've said that before.
They've come because you're working on radar, haven't they?
Radar? What the devil do you know about radar?
Oh, I just do. I
Now, you listen to me. Nobody knows what we're doing here. Nobody except ourselves and the top brass at the ministry. What's your game? Now, answer... No, you don't get a point for that. You have to pop one of the reds first. You better take the shot again.
Coffee. I have to get some more coffee from the stores.
Hey! Hey, Matrosa! Matrosa! You in there? Open up! Sie tut darin, offen Sie!
Was ist das? Wie lange ist der dort darin?
Einige Minuten.
Open up!
Ah, what's the good of this? They're not here and you know it.
You agreed we should search the station ourselves.
Yes,
it's the
I
last
know.
place the children were known to be.
Simon!
What's the matter?
Simon, come and look. It's...
You're just playing for time, aren't you?
Oh, my dear.
Yes, that's what it is. You just don't want me to call the police.
Don't you see? Yes! It's Daddy. Daddy and Mr... Daddy!
Out! What the devil are you playing? Look out, you'll get yourselves killed!
Daddy, we're in here!
Well, I'm not wasting any more time. I'll do it my way.
The police won't find them, you know.
How can you say that?
Because I know.
Because you'd like to convince me of these crazy ideas of
They
yours,
are
you
not
mean?
crazy
People
ideas,
don't
Skinner.
peel off into the fourth dimension, whatever it is you call it. People don't vanish out of their own time. It's nonsense.
Oh, wait, Skinner, you must...
I don't know. They don't seem to hear you.
What's the matter with you two?
Well, can't you see? It's a father and Mr Traynor over there.
A father? Where? Are you mad? What kind of a trick is this? There's nobody there.
Nobody there.
Nobody. Do you think you can fool me with cheap little games like this? Back inside. Come on, move.
Daddy!
Both of you. Inside, I say. Come on, inside, both of you.
Hinein, hinein.
Inside, I tell you. Come on.